Hello and welcome everyone to another What Now episode. This is the last one of 2020. I wasn't going to do any live in December, but as you could have read on my Instagram, I am doing a live baking version. It's a combination of What Now with Mr. Bake, celebrity chef. He is hopefully coming because I got all my stuff prepared. This is a new setup in my kitchen, so I had to really prepare for this. Hopefully he'll be on time. I just told him I'm going to be on already. I'm very much out of my comfort zone here, so please bear with me. It's going to be fun, and I'm something today. I'm going to bake something, so who knows how this is going to go. I had to put this whole setup in my kitchen. Hello.
Hello.
Oh my
So
God.
now you know when you
Your
get
kitchen's
online.
better than mine.
No, please. You know when you get online, you gotta like adjust your camera. So I'm like, let me give a little adjusted camera to you so I could.
Let me see how I can do this. Is this better? No, this is not better. Okay, I'm just gonna figure it out.
Right. It's very much like just figure it out as you go along.
Well,
I'm trying to make sure y'all see.
I guess this works so you can see me. No, you can't really see me do stuff. Hold on. Yes. I need to do like you, but my kitchen is so tiny. I have to like really try and figure out how to do this. So
You know what? Also, don't think too much about it. I can definitely give the people, step by steps on what we're doing. That's good. Just so they can see a little bit of what you're doing. Yeah.
Because they don't really need to see what the hell I'm doing out here.
All right.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all of the people that are tuned in through my audience, this is Mr. Bay Kareem. Thank you so much for having me as a guest.
Yes.
Just to let people know, so I'm doing my What Now combined with baking with Mr. Bake. And he asked me to be his guest, and I'm so honored. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for dealing with my non-baking ass. It's going to be fun. I wasn't going to do a What Now, but I definitely want to ask you questions after you taught me how to do this. I have one question, though. I did not measure everything beforehand.
Okay.
And you didn't tell me how to preheat this oven at what temperature.
No, the highest. So the 250 Celsius.
I think mine goes to 230. So do I turn it on now?
230. When I did the conversion over, it was like 480 Fahrenheit. So that's perfect. Yeah, I want it to be on.
So how many minutes do I turn it on?
Turn it on now.
Yeah, but I have to. It works with a timer. It's all like,
Oh, so is it going to stay on while we work through the recipe?
If I put it on like an hour, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So put it on you don't need it for an hour. Put it on for 30 minutes.
All right. It's on.
Okay,
See, I don't even know none of this stuff. So yeah. I'm such a virgin in the baking situation.
Right, and this is the great thing. So everybody who's joining my live, she just gave the introduction. I reached out. We started talking in DMs. We're gonna get into all of that in a second, but we thought it was really great to combine both of our shows together. So she's, my new girlfriend doesn't really do a lot of baking, which is totally fine. So I'm going to give you a lot more detailed instructions on measuring, things like that. If you guys have any questions about the baking component, try to save that until after we finish because we won't see the questions.
Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing.
Because we're going to be too busy talking and my phone is far away when I can actually get on my other phone. I can get on my other phone actually, but...
So when we're done...
So, I want to answer your baking questions and just also know that we're in two different areas, okay? I'm calling from the States.
I'm tuning in from Amsterdam. Central European time. It is 6 o'clock over here. Yes.
And 12 noon here. So please just give us a little moment. We are going to have some Q&A conversations. So the first part of it is all about baking with Mr. Bake. Then the second half is going to be all the get the juicy, who Kareem, what we've been through over quarantine, COVID life, right? And what's to come in the future. So just bear with us. We're going to be making some buttermilk biscuit buttermilk biscuits. And for people in the States, or if you have options or accessibility to get to Food Network, I was on Beat Bobby Flay in October. And these are the biscuits that I did to win me to the round to go up against Bobby Flay. So you are learning a recipe that I've done on national television. So if you have any questions, I would sure love to give the recipe to you. It's only 3 ingredients.
I'm still gonna mess it up, but that's okay.
No, you won't. I believe you know you won't. And the great thing about you is she is going to be baking with things that people who don't bake don't normally have. So that's the great thing. You're going to be showing people an alternative version to do exactly what we're doing, and I'm going to be showing them the version if they had all of these different tools in their home.
Including a tiny oven. I don't want to move this camera around because I put it down. A tiny kitchen, a tiny fridge. Everything's tiny. I'm in Amsterdam. This is kind of like New York style. Like I live in a shoebox. This is basically my entire apartment. So he's now having to learn how to navigate his recipes for the people that have little, you know? Because I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Oh, well, let's get right into it. The people are hungry. I know their mouths is watering and they want to learn. So first we're going to start off. Do you have an empty bowl, some kind of shallow bowl?
I have this.
That's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. It's a bowl. So you got your all-purpose. So the ingredients we're going to need, I'm going to just tell you to make sure we got everything. All-purpose flour, salt.
Oh, yeah, I didn't get salt, but I have salt.
Okay, do you have salted butter or unsalted butter?
I actually got unsalted because
I suggested it.
Because you said unsalted, but I don't use a lot of salt in my cooking, so I only have this type of salt, but I can just put it in.
Grind it up. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
You only need a teaspoon of it anyway.
Yeah, I can grind it up.
Fine. Yeah. And then do you have baking powder?
Yes, I did not put that ready, but I do have baking powder. Yep.
All right, and do we have our butter?
Yeah, it's in the fridge.
Great. You got your buttermilk?
I got it in the fridge, yes.
Okay, great. So first things first, we're going to measure out all of our dry ingredients, and I'm going to show you how to, since you got the bag, do you have a measuring cup too?
Okay, so my cousins from the States are tuned in. I saw them. Now, I want to shout out my cousin Cindy. She's in Indianapolis, well, in Indiana. And so she's a baker in our family. The only things I've baked successfully are with her. She's the one that got me these measuring cups that have U.S. Type of measuring and European measuring. So it says milliliters and cups. So yes, I don't have to do the conversion with these things. Thanks, Cindy.
Yes, good. Well, thank you, Cindy. Okay, and did she also give you teaspoons, tablespoons, a whole kit with it, or just?
I did not get that one. Yes.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I have regular teaspoons and I have regular tablespoons. So.
Yep, you just need a teaspoon. Just take out the teaspoon.
Okay. Yeah, got a teaspoon.
Yep, that's it. All right. So first things first. Since you have this small thing of flour, go ahead and open up your flour and spoon the flour in.
Wait, how many?
You take the 1 cup measurement.
1 cup, okay. Hold on. Let me find out. I should know this by heart now.
That's the biggest one. That's the biggest one.
See you right now.
I got you. And open up your flour.
Yep.
You can either pour it in like that, or you can spoon it in, guys, to get accurate measurements. Either one.
Well,
if you have a big tub like me.
This pack is too small.
I'm gonna show you how to measure it too. I'm just showing the people too.
Yeah.
If you have a big tub like me, you could do a scoop, and then what you do, you have that knife I asked you to pull out too?
Do I have what?
The knife. It's better if you spoon, and it's also better if you spoon your flour in. Spoon your flour in.
What does that mean?
Spoon it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Spoon your flour in the
let me get a smaller spoon.
Over, you're gonna go over
You're right. You know what? I learned something new today already. Spoon it in.
Yeah.
Spoon something in. Okay, like this.
Yep, all the way to, so look.
Yeah, it's at the.
Yep, it needs to get all the way to the top. You see how you can't? Yep,
oh, okay.
And then go ahead and put that in your cup, in your bowl.
Oh, okay, 1.
You're gonna need 1 more of those.
I need 2 cups in total.
Yep, 2 cups of all-purpose
Hold
flour
on.
in total. For those who want to measure precisely and they're using a big bucket or something, when you dip your thing and when you dip your measuring cup and you have a big mountain on top, you use the flat end of a knife and rest it right up against the rim of the measuring cup, and it gives you a nice even measurement. Okay?
Yeah,
So
I'm not that detailed.
Huh?
I'm not that detailed.
No, I know. It's for anybody who is at home and they get stuck in a little whammy and they go, "What do I do?" So you got your 2 cups. We can put that away.
Okay. Yes. I'm sure people are leaving funny comments, so thank you for that. I can't see anything. I'll read it back.
Yes, and we love the heart. Share it with your friends. Bring them into the conversation. Nobody ain't doing nothing unless they working late for over there, and if they're working hard over here.
Ain't nobody doing shit. It's lockdown.
Okay, and then next, let's go to measure your salt. So you want to grind that up, and you want 1 teaspoon of salt.
Lord, how do I grind this up? Let me just
keep the top on there, and you grind it.
Yeah, but how am I gonna measure? I can't grind it on here.
So do you have put it in your when you finish grinding it, pour it right in that measuring cup, and then scoop it out from there.
Right.
Yup. We're gonna listen. When you work in a kitchen, you use whatever you have.
Hey, I make it work.
That's sanitary.
I make it work.
You are totally fine.
I think this is about. All right. Yeah, this is about 1 teaspoon. Yep.
So you get a amount. So same thing with the flour. I'm gonna come a little closer so you can see. You see how much salt I have? You can use your finger. I'm trying to hold this and use my finger, so bear with me, okay? You can use your finger and rest up right up against it, and you get an even scoop. So you want the same thing.
I just put it. It's about a teaspoon.
All right, no problem. Don't worry about it. Go ahead. It's only to add some flavor to it. It's only so they don't be bland. So however much salt you want is however much you get. Put in there. Right. Now the baking powder.
Yep, I have one of these. How much?
Does it tell you how much is in it?
16 grams.
You said how many grams?
16.
16 grams.
Somebody do the conversion for us.
I know, right? I was like, now I got to do the math.
I'm gonna give y'all homework. Whoever is on here fastest and converts this will win something. I don't know. You'll win a biscuit from me. I don't know if you want it, but.
So then what you're gonna need is 2 teaspoons. 2 teaspoons.
I'm sure this is 2 teaspoons.
I think that's 2 and like a little over 2 teaspoons.
Right. I'm thinking as well.
I believe so. Because it looks like a yeast package.
I don't know.
Okay, yeast packages are about 2 1/4 of a teaspoon.
I think it's a little bit more, so I'm not going to use everything.
Okay, and that's what that's doing is that's going to give the biscuits its height.
Rise.
That's going to help
it's going to rise.
Okay,
so that's something.
Lavender. We got all that together. Do you still have that spoon or anything? You just give this a good mix so everything is fully incorporated.
Yep.
All right, so then you could go in the refrigerator, and what do you have, a stick of butter, or how's your butter look?
Okay, so exactly. Our butter is not sticks. Our butter has the 50 grams measurement for baking. So we don't do sticks. We do like packs.
All right, so you need 1 slit. I think if I'm doing this right, you might. Let me see. Let me look at it.
150 grams.
You need a 1/4 cup. So I'm thinking if I'm doing this right with the math, damn, that's cut into 5.
Oh, is it? It is. Yeah, because it's 250 grams. So it would make sense that it's 5. So this will be 50 milliliters. Does that say something to you? No. Wait, a cup is, hold on. 50 milliliters is about 1/4 cup.
Yep. Okay, so great. That's what you need, 1/4. That's what
Thank
I thought.
you, Cindy.
By looking at it, I was like, you're gonna need one of those slots, so slits.
Yes. Okay.
So no, if the lines, listen, if you lose the lines when you open the package, cut it right through the package so you can have an even cut.
Okay, sir.
And so here on our butter, like the butter here, it's
broken
the sticks
up. I know.
So you just cut right down so I know that I have they're right.
Okay. So I cut.
Oh, I need a napkin. It's
That
hot in
makes
my
sense. That makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay, so I got. Well, I take it I don't put the wrap in there.
No, you don't. No.
I know this much. Do I put it in here?
No. So this is what you do. I know you said you didn't have a grater. So anybody at home, I'm going to use a box grater, but I'm going to show you how to use
I knew it was for the butter. I knew it was for the butter. I was telling my friend, I was visiting my friend, I was like, I bet that's for the butter.
It's just easier so you don't have to play with the butter. So take your knife, unpackage your
Okay.
and then what you can do is just cut them into small. So what I do is I cut it down in half.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do half of this because I'm gonna show people both. Cut it in half, in quarters, as small as you can. And then what I did was just look, cut them into little squares.
My cutting board.
So I just. Oops.
Oh yeah. It's as small as I can. Okay. I'm just gonna do it extra small because I know you're stronger than me.
Yep. And then you throw that right into the flour. So
Yeah.
people who have a grater, the big thing about it is you take the grater. I use the bigger grater size, the head size, and I use it and go right up against.
Okay, it's in there.
And then the butter.
I knew it was for the butter, man. I need a butter grater.
I need a butter grater.
It's more likely I'm more likely to bake than to eat cheese. So, yep. I need a butter grater. I'm about to invent that thing and make money.
Okay, and then look, and this is why the grater's so good. Look how small they're already like little shreds of. So all you gotta do is just toss it in the flour now. So now what you're gonna have to do is make pea size with those. So you gotta mush the butter in the flour to create pea size dough. And what this is gonna do is create that nice flakiness and butteriness in the biscuit.
Okay.
And you don't want to overwork them. You just want to kind of mush it together in the flour.
Okay, so how does it have to look? How does it have to look in the flour? Does it all come together or little pieces?
Little pieces.
Okay.
Sorry if my camera.
I'm trying to.
If it's too light, you see me just. Yep, just do that with your hand, but in the flour. I'm trying to show you, so I took it out the flour. So look, I have I have flakes of butter in this flour.
Right. I get it. I need to not stick them together. Okay, hold on. Because mine were bigger than yours, so I have to like make them a bit smaller.
Just a little bit. Don't overwork it because you don't want to melt the butter in there. You still want those.
Oh, it has to stay solid.
Yes, you still want.
Oh, that's why. Okay, I get it. See, I'm learning. I thought I had to like really like mix the butter, but
no. Just some little solid pieces. What that's gonna do, like I said, is gonna help. And some people, if you overwork the butter and it starts to melt, you can throw your biscuits or this in the refrigerator or freezer for about 10 minutes. Let the butter get hard, because the colder the butter is, the better you're gonna have a rise and nice pockets of butter fat in places of the biscuits.
Oh, that's what we're going for.
Yes.
Wash my hands?
Baby, when you eat a biscuit, don't you want it to be buttery and flaky?
We don't do biscuits like y'all do, so.
Okay, you know me too. And my family from the South, so you know biscuit everywhere, baby.
Listen, my uncle, the dad of the cousins that are logged in, he used to make the best biscuits for breakfast. Biscuits and gravy. He would always make that when I was there. Florida.
Oh, well, good. Then we're doing this for him. Come on.
We are. This is it. This is for him. I know his one. Sorry, Unc. I know they're not going to be as great, but maybe they'll be better.
Okay. So I think, don't worry about it. Don't overwork that. Let's get our buttermilk out the refrigerator.
Yeah. Hold on.
I already have mine pre-measured. And do you have a measuring cup like this?
I do.
And the reason why I asked is
I don't want people to see all my mess.
All your liquid ingredients for cups and more usually should be in a liquid measuring cup. If you don't have it, that's okay. You can still use the colorful set that you got from your family member.
Look.
Boom. And oh shoot,
Ooh.
okay. What's your
I got
what's your
some
measurements
stuff.
on there? I forgot. Nope, don't use that. Don't use that because your measurements are different than mine.
No, I have.
Or does it? What is it in grams?
It's cups, liters, centimeters, ounces. I got all kinds of measures on here. So
Can
whatever
you do 3/4 of a cup?
Yep. Look, it says.
All right, do about a little over 3/4 of a cup. Yep.
This is 1.5. This
measure
is
it
one.
on a flat surface.
Yeah, well, obviously. I'm not that stupid. Okay, so 3/4 you said, right?
Yep. This is the one thing about in the kitchen, it is hot.
Yep, I don't need to turn my heater on right now. All right, I got 3/4.
No.
That's about this. Does that look right?
Yeah, and if we need more or less, we can add more in there too. So 3/4.
Well, not less. We need
Cool,
less.
don't worry about it. It's not this. Don't worry about it. Okay, look.
Right.
And then now we're gonna pour that in our mixture.
Okay.
So I'm the same spoon kind of person. If you got that same spoon we've been using or that you had,
I do.
you just give it a good mix and you just give it a mix until it's fully incorporated. You don't want to overwork it, but you do want it to come together. So if it isn't coming together, this is the time when we can add a little bit more buttermilk.
Butter or milk?
The milk. That you use,
Well,
the dairy that
I
you
think.
use in there.
See, I don't know what it's supposed to look like. Can you show me?
Just come together. I'm showing you right here.
Yeah. So this is what mine looks
You
like.
see it coming together? Yeah.
Does this look
a little
good?
messy. We're gonna put it together on the surface on your cutting board.
Oh.
That's
Does
exactly
this look
what
good?
it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you see chunks of butter in there too?
Yep. I'm
That's
wondering
good.
if it's
All right.
not too dry.
Then you want to add a little bit more liquid.
Yeah, hold on. I think a little bit.
So because I'm sorry, because we're in two different spaces, I really can't see. So you're gonna have to trust your judgment on if it doesn't look like what biscuit dough, just add a little bit more liquid to it.
Well, see, that's the thing. I don't know what biscuit dough is supposed to look like, so that's why
It's
I'm
supposed
like.
to be together. I'm about to form this into a ball so I can show you. You should be able to form it
be
into
a
a
dough
ball.
Okay.
Yep.
And does
But
it
it's
have
gonna
to
be a little
be wet?
sticky.
Does it have to be a little
Yep, it's gonna
sticky
be a
and
little
wet?
sticky.
Okay.
Yep, because of the butter.
Okay.
That's that butter we want.
So I think mine does not look like yours.
Well, I worked with it a little bit.
Hold on.
Can you,
I think
you gotta
mine's
throw your
too.
hands in there and you gotta put some. What can happen
It's
is
too
you put
wet.
some flour on your hand. Put
Oh.
some flour in there. Put some flour on your hands. Breathe. It's okay. It's okay. Put some flour on your hands so it can help it from not sticking so much. And then use a little bit of flour at a time and take your time and just use a little bit of flour at a time to bring it into a ball. You don't want to work it too hard. You just want to give it enough, toast it, bring it together. And what you do tossing is, look at my hand. You're tossing and folding it together into each other. So when it's in the bowl, I'm rolling it like this in my hand.
Yeah, it's too wet. Yeah, it does, but I put too much milk in it,
it
I
might
think.
be. So that's what I said. You put some.
All right.
Put a little bit more flour and flour on your hand so it won't stick as much to your hand. Baking is a messy job when especially when you're in breads and things like that. And this gets a little messy.
Listen, man, this is going to take more than 15 minutes with me.
Glamorous and beautiful on the camera. Now we're going to have flour in your hair.
Woohoo! I can get messy.
Just take your time.
Yeah, I'm not rushing this. I need to make this right.
Choppy.
Yeah, that might be you. Okay.
What is it looking like
A
now?
little bit more. Hold on.
I'm up closer so I can see what you're doing.
You can't see what I'm doing. Hold on. Does this look a little bit better?
That's good. No, that's it. That's good.
Yeah?
That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's it right there.
So I
Yeah,
take it
it's not
out.
gonna look like bread dough. No. No.
I
So
don't
you
know
gotta
what
get
bread
that
dough
cutting
looks
board
like.
that you have.
It's not a. It's too. See? It's a little wet.
You're gonna be fine. I'm gonna show you what we're gonna do.
I feel like it's sticking everywhere.
Keep it in the bowl.
Yeah. Put some more flour because it's sticking to everything.
Are you gonna use your surface to roll it out, or are you gonna use the cutting board?
Well, the cutting board is a little. The cutting board is a little small. Hold on. We're gonna get messy in this kitchen. I got this from Cindy too. A cutting thing. It's bigger. Okay. All right, but it's still sticky.
No, it's cool. I just want to fix my service. I don't know. We kind of broke up a little bit, so I want to make sure the service was good. I don't know whose service is kind of choppy. Is it me or I don't know? It's breaking up.
No, it's smooth.
It's cool. So are you using your service on your counter, or are you going to use the cutting board to roll that? So dust that with some flour. So take your flour. Take the flour. So get a little bit in that up. Yep. And then sprinkle it on top. And shake it around like that.
Yeah.
Yep. Then take your dough. Take your dough.
But my dough is
put it
sticky.
right on top of that.
But my dough is really sticky. I think okay.
The flour is going to keep it. All right. You gotta. Two things. It's okay. It's okay. You're not a baker at Passion. This is fun. So I want you
This is fun.
If it messes up, as long as it tastes good, I just want you to have fun. So I'm going to walk you through what's going on. It's sticky because you're not used to that material and that texture and stuff on your hand. Flour is going to help absorb some of that, and we're going to need it. I got you. So just walk with me. Okay?
Yes, I'm listening.
So
all right.
Take the dough, and then you're going to fold it into, it's called a knee, into each other. So look at my hand. No, look at me. Look at me. I'm taking it from the side and I'm folding it in. And then I'm turning it. Because it's going to be sticky, but what you're doing is adding flour into that until you get to a ball. That's all. You just want a nice ball.
I'm just going to do. What did you do? Show me again. How do you fold it in?
So if it's like this, just fold it into each other. Turn, in, turn, in, turn.
Oh, it's sticking to my hands though. Look, this isn't good.
Yes, it is. It's flour. It's just the liquid. So you put the flour on your hand to keep it from sticking to you. And it's going
all
to stick.
This dough is on my hands now. Hold on.
It's going to stick because it's going to stick because you're not used to this. So it's totally fine. If I was there with you, I would have taken it from you and did it. So I
need to clean my entire floor after this.
How's it looking? Leave it flat.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Everything is sticking to me. Come on, dough. You work with me.
Just throw some more flour on your surface. The flour is keeping it from sticking. That's it.
I think I'm using more flour outside. You don't have to work with it anymore
because you're going to overwork the.
Okay.
That's
I'm not working anything.
Totally fine. When I did these biscuits, I only had 20. When I did these biscuits, I only had 20 seconds. It's fine.
All right, cool.
Just leave it
I
flat.
think I'm done then. Okay.
You want what?
I guess I'm.
Does yours
half the dough is on my hands, but mine doesn't look like yours.
Because I've been baking for years. It's okay. You okay?
Oh my gosh.
That's what I said. You okay? Have fun with this. This is fun.
Oh no, listen.
Take your,
Let me explain. I am having great fun. That's not the problem. Okay, let me.
Yeah, that's good. Listen, this is how they come out.
Okay, so this is people. This is how you know Pay doesn't bake. I do not have a rolling pin. So what I did was I followed instructions from Mr. Bake to use a can with plastic.
So now, what you're going to do for that can, you're only rolling it out. I'm going to roll mine out so you can see. So how you roll is, I'm going to try to move it closer so you can see what I'm doing.
Yes.
How you roll is you start from the center and
You're
you roll
pretty.
out. Okay? You're not even going to move the dough much. It's fine.
Listen, man, my biscuit going to look like that? Bumhead biscuits. Yours are going to look like queens and kings.
It's about the taste. So you see, and then the thickness. You want some thickness to it too. You see how thick that is? So that means you don't have to roll. That means you do not have to roll your dough out so thin, because the thinner you roll it out, the thinner the biscuits will be.
All right. This is so ghetto. Like, let me show people how ghetto my shit is. Okay.
Let me see.
This is how ghetto I am. Using this, I did in the middle, then I roll it that way, and then I rolled it this way. And it has some thickness.
And then do it the other way. Do a T. And do a T. Yep. Boom and boom. Make sure you get the edges around the other sides of the, so everything, yep. And now you can cut it. Where's your sheet pan? So I already have a baking pan, a baking pan with non-stick paper, parchment paper, right there. So now you have that knife still?
Huh?
You have your knife?
Yes.
So now I have options for you. You can use a cup
Kim, stop
to
laughing.
make biscuits. You can use a cup to make biscuits. If somebody at home has biscuit rings, you can use biscuit rings. So I'm going to show you how to do the cup because that's what you have, right?
Do you think I have biscuit rings?
No, I know that.
Thank you. Okay. So what cup do I have? How big did I have? I can use this one.
It's however big you want the biscuits to be. Yep. It's however big you want them to be. So, nope. Stop. Wait.
I'm not doing anything.
Mine's is dusted. So put some flour on the edge so it won't stick. Remember, you have a sticky dough. So the more flour you put on your utensils, it's going to give you a clean cut. And I'm going to bring my camera close so you can see. Sorry. All right. Put it right in and do a turn. And that's it. One more time.
Yeah, that shit ain't going, my dough ain't going to do that.
Look, bring it in. Do some turns left and right. Push it forward. Shake it out. You want me to do it one more time?
No, I see what you're doing, but my dough ain't like yours. This ain't going to work, man. My dough is dumb. Okay, my dough is just really dumb. So
let me tell you something. You talk about your dough. Go into that episode. If I could send you that episode of Bobby Flay, my dough looked crazy on that episode, okay? It was cracking on, it was like Fort lines on inside of, like, on top. It looked corroded. Because you're moving so fast.
So I can't get worse?
You don't got time for, you don't got time for perfection. You got time to just make the biscuit. So,
okay.
How many you got?
Well, I guess, hold on. 1. 2. Damn, my uncle did this every time I was there.
See, look, and this is it. You saying yours is sticky. Mine's is still sticky to me. Because I had a little bit left. So it's still sticking to me too.
Thank you for making me feel better.
You know that. I just want to let you know we are both dealing with the same. Yeah, it's sticky again. Like it needs a lot because of the butter.
That says the man that's been baking for 20 years. Don't buy it, people. Don't buy it. Okay, so I have a lot of dough outside my circles. Do I put them together?
So you can put them together. It's gonna be sticky, so put some
I
flour
know.
on your hand.
You know, you might be
Yeah,
Mr. Bake. I'm Mrs. Sticky.
All
All
right, and then you just grab all the dough together and just roll it in. Do the same thing we did in the beginning. That knead action, folding it all together.
I did. I
But do
already
it
did.
lightly
I'm ahead
and
of you.
okay, cool. Okay, and then foam it up and roll it back out to the same thinness that you
Making
had
my teas.
previously.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you go ahead and. Ew, sorry, I spilled something. I spilled something on the side.
You spilled something. You don't want to see my kitchen.
And that's it for that. Once you finish those, you can put them all in a sheet tray, and then we're gonna bake them at 500 for about 10 minutes.
So I can only fit 6 on my little tray, but I have a little dough left. It could be at least one more.
Whatever you have left, you can either roll it into the dough and put them on a plate and put them in the refrigerator. So when you're ready to bake those, they can stay nice and cold, and then you can transfer them into the onto the sheet. Or you can wrap them in saran wrap, put them in the freezer, and bake them later.
No, I want to bake them later, so I put it on a plate, just open like this in the fridge.
Yep, just put them like that straight in the fridge. You just want them to rest, stay cool, because they're better off cold when they're baking.
Okay. All right, let me put this in the fridge. Hold on. Let me put this in here and put it in the fridge.
You can roll it out. You can roll the dough out before you put them in the fridge, too.
Oh, that's better, because then I don't have to...
Yeah, and then just throw them on a plate and just put them on your sheet tray and be ready to cook them. The reason why is because you don't have to worry about putting out any flour or anything like that. All of that stuff will go away. All you're doing is just baking.
All right, so what are you doing there?
Nope, I'm waiting for you. I'm going to tell them what I did because I didn't tell you this part, but I'm going to tell them what I did.
Okay.
I don't think. So what I did here, guys, I made a egg wash bath, which is an egg and heavy cream, and blended it together. And I used a pastry brush to brush it on top. There's nothing wrong. The only thing is this is going to add some browning color on my biscuits when they bake. That's it. So you ready?
I forgot my heavy cream. Mm-hmm. That's the ingredient I kept.
Don't worry about it.
I want some brown stuff on my... I want my biscuits.
Well, that's the only way you would do it, unless you want to use an egg and just crack it and do it on top. But I'm going to tell you, when I did Bobby Flay, I forgot to do the same thing. When I did the Bobby Flay episode, I forgot to put a wash on there. So my bread, Huh?
How do I do it with just the egg?
Okay.
But
these are your biscuits. So if you, go ahead. I'm fine.
Wait, hold on. So I just crack the egg, mix the egg, like, how you say that?
You have to whisk the egg.
Whisk the egg. That's the word.
Brush it on top.
That's the word. Whisk the egg. All right, let me whisk the egg. I forgot that word, man. My English is going down the drain with this. Where's my?
All right, I gotta clean up. I gotta clean up and sit down. This kitchen is actually very hot.
I'm not done yet.
No, you're fine. I'm just cleaning up my space because I'm hot. It's like the sweat is literally falling down my head. So I'm like, because I could walk you through the rest.
I know you can. I know people are like tuning out, like, hey, this is some bullshit. But I do have, look, I know something. I have this.
Yep, a pastry brush. Yep. You use a brush. And what you do is you dip the brush in and just do a nice coating. I'm going to show you in the camera. And just do a nice coating over the biscuits. Yep. So if they were like sweet biscuits, you could throw sanding sugar or hard sugar on top. it'll crystallize, like if you're making like shortcakes and stuff like that.
Alrighty. You know what? I've learned a lot today already about this butter, because I just kept thinking you have to mix in the butter, but I've learned that you don't have to mix in the butter.
No. Well, what you mean? Oh, yeah. No. Well, if you had the grater, if you grated the butter, you wouldn't have to do any of that. It would have just been.
No, but I learned not to mix the butter completely in. All right.
Yes, you want pizza. You want to do pizza. Same thing if you ever have to make a crust from scratch. That's exactly the same techniques you'll use. You ready to go in the oven?
Yeah, I gotta cut this paper though, because obviously they're made for regular oven sizes.
Got you. I love it.
People, this is how we do when we have to improvise, which is fine. We can do what they do in little kitchens.
Yes.
You ain't gotta be ashamed.
The funny thing is, we keep those same scraps and we line them up in pans and spray right on top of them. So every little piece is used. Even the kitchens do the same thing you're doing. You ready? All right. So let's go in the oven. So we go in the oven at the same time.
All right, I put it in.
10 minutes on the clock.
Wait, hold on. I put it in.
Yep.
All right. How long?
I got you. I'm doing all of that right now. Just put yours back on for about how many minutes you have yours for?
I can put it on till an hour, but how much do I have to put it on?
No, I have a timer. I have a timer for us, so you don't have to worry about it. I'll keep up time on ours. Just keep it
But
on.
I like to hear the fling. So I know my stuff is ready.
15 minutes, 10 minutes total. I'm going to be doing some stuff in between there. 10 minutes total.
All right. Let me clean up here a little bit, or not. We cannot clean up.
It's up to you. It's up to you. Now, this is your portion of our show. You know, we only got about 12 minutes on the hour. We could go back. We could come back in.
No, I think you can do longer than that. We'll just see. Okay, people. Mr. Bake. I want to tell you guys really quick how I met Mr. Bake. I was in my lockdown during COVID, and he was on my Netflix in a show called Sugar Rush. And he was so fun with his baking partner that I looked him up and I saw all the goodies he's making, and I fell in love with the sweets. And I sent him a message saying, hey man, I like your stuff and whatnot. And he actually replied with all his millions of followers. And then he helped me give me a recipe for my ripe bananas. And I thought that was so nice. And then he asked me to be a guest. That's how we met. We've known each other for a whole week or so. Yeah. So I thought that was wonderful. He is such a great spirit. His energy just flew off of my screen when I watched Netflix. And that is what got me wanting to find out more about him and his work. So, Mr. Bake, yes, I did my research. Tell us a little bit about why your passion lays with baking or eat something in the kitchen as I clean up.
Wait, the phone is breaking up. Can you say it to me one more time?
Yeah. So tell us a little bit, or tell us why your passion.
It's a little static.
Is that me or you? Okay. So can you hear me? Can you hear me? What's going on?
Say that one more time.
So tell us why your passion lays with baking and chefing.
Oh, okay. I started fell in love with sweets at a young age. So from falling in love with sweets, I was curious about wanting to make my own cake. I was like 8 years old, and my family, we don't do a lot of baking. They did a lot of cooking and were great cooks. So I made my first box cake, and then my elementary school had a home economics course, and I took that course to further see if this is something that I really wanted to do. And I enjoyed the class so much that I felt like this was my passion and calling, on one of my callings in life. So I just went straight head for it. Culinary school,
Cool.
everything.
Okay, so, I'm gonna do it like this while we wait on our biscuits, on my ghetto biscuits and your king and queen's biscuits. All right, so you have your own bakery, your own Mr. Bake Sweets, is it called?
Yes. So that's the business called. My business name, or kind of, I guess, personality name, is Mr. Bake as well. So people do call me Mr. Bake in the streets if they know me. And the business name is Mr. Bake Sweets. We are a custom dessert shop. Not a shop, a custom dessert studio. So we actually do not have a storefront that you can walk in brick and mortar.
You have
Everything
to order.
needs to be custom.
Yeah,
everything needs to be custom order. We are now moving more into the realms of wholesaling since we don't have a space. So it gives the people an opportunity to taste our products in other partnerships that we have. So we're in three businesses right now. One of them has 2 locations, and we're looking to go for a 4th and more on for the future of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's
so
amazing.
And different things. Each place has different options of desserts. So you don't get one in the other place. Yeah.
I wish I could order some stuff. Obviously, I went on the website. I love sweets. I love cakes. I love sugar. I have a tattoo. This is sugar, the molecular structure of sugar. And so I have a sweet tooth, which is why I watch shows like Sugar Rush. But I can't bake, so I need somebody to make that stuff for me, or teach me. So how was it for you during this year with the whole pandemic? Like, I'm sure even though you're customized, even though your shop is all customized, your studio, did you still get orders? Because obviously people don't come in and pick up, but do you deliver, or how did it work for you? What was the impact on your business during the pandemic?
Gotcha. Give me 1 second. I put our timer on 5 minutes. What we're going to do is go to your thing and rotate it. So basically, whatever was in the back, rotate that to the front.
Oh, I can't do that with bare hands because I'm going to burn my hands. So.
Oh, you don't have a mitten thing?
Listen, I have all kinds of stuff. I'm prepared.
Okay, good. A towel, right, a little.
I'm
and
armed.
What we're doing here, all you're doing is just making sure the biscuits are evenly baked.
That smells good, though.
Yep, so all you're doing is making sure, boom, that's an even bake for you guys. We did it halfway through the 10-minute mark.
They look good. They smell good. I'm so proud.
See, have a little faith in yourself. See?
Yeah.
See? But no,
they gotta taste good. Yeah.
Good. They gotta taste good. They gotta do the whole 360.
Right.
But to answer your question, what we did was I pivot the business model. Because we were catered, we do a lot of big catering orders, and we offered small desserts that a lot of people couldn't get a chance to eat due to the fact that you had to order like 2 dozen of them or something like that. So what I did was I created weekly boxes, you can say. And within these boxes, you get to choose a la carte. So I'll give you a weekly menu, and you get to choose from there. If you want it delivered, it would be a minimum price, plus like a $5 or $10 delivery, because I'll be doing so many deliveries at one time.
Right.
Or you had curbside pickup option, so you could come pick it up. We'll just deliver it downstairs, because that's one of the things that we were able to do here in the States for restaurants. We were able to still do curbside and delivery. So I just pivot the business model to that. Yes, we took a financial hit. Yeah. Because we wasn't making the big parties, the big cakes, things like that. So we just had to create some type of method to bring some money in. But another thing that I loved about the top of quarantining, like that March, April, and May time. Right. It gave you a lot of downtime. It forced you to have downtime to reset, really dig deeper into yourself, and stuff like that. So I used a lot of that time to slow down, because we were on a rolling ball, and it was a greatness of momentum, you know, because I knew Netflix was going to come out this year and stuff like that. So we just had things lined up. So it was just like a pause, and I didn't know how much I needed that pause in the beginning. So it was really beautiful to have that pause.
Right. Oh, thanks, Patty. Love you. Have a good day at work. That's my other cousin. That's Cindy's sister.
Oh, thank you so much. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. So I'm happy to hear that you had the time to take a break and take a rest, because that's something that I've talked to a lot of people about during my What Now series. Almost every creative person that's always on the go, and you know, when you're self-employed, when you're an entrepreneur, you're always working. You never stop. So for a lot of people, this was the time to really sit down. Yeah. Sit down. For me as well. Like, I started this simply to help others, but it kind of helped me as well. And but it became so much. I think this is show number 68, and I took December off. So yeah, I got stuff scheduled for January already, but it's just been such a heavy year for everyone. I took a financial hit. My whole industry is shut down, and over here it's, I think, slightly worse than over there, depending on what state you are in. But we've been on a lockdown since December 14th, again, a full lockdown till January 19th. So everything's closed. Only essential shops are open, supermarkets. So I haven't been able to do anything. Christmas was kind of like boo, because you can't have people over and everybody's scared. So I don't know. This was the biggest thing I had to look forward to, this baking thing. Like, honestly, yeah. This was so great.
I'm so happy this worked out. I'm happy this worked out.
And now I can make biscuits for my guests, if I can have guests in the future after COVID calms down. I know at least how to make biscuits for breakfast or whatever. Now I gotta learn how to make the gravy.
All right. Did your timer go off yet?
No, because I didn't put the time in that you said. How long now still?
Oh, it's 10 minutes. I thought you put the 10 minutes on it.
Oh, I put 15. Sorry.
Yeah, no,
it goes off.
Check them out and see if they're brown. These are mine.
They're a little white.
Okay, let them cook for a little bit longer. If you want, maybe like a minute or two. I wouldn't do too. Ooh, this is hot. This is hot.
They look a little pale.
But yeah, I'll show you again because I know you had your back to your oven. So these are mine.
Mine are a little less brown because I didn't have the same egg wash as yours, I think.
Right. So see, I'm gonna tell you. Right. So you just let them cook for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But yours, they're done. They only take 10 minutes. The oven you're doing, you're at a little bit lower of a temperature than I am. So that's why I want you to have them in there just a tad bit longer, so we don't have underbaked. We have a little.
But also, it's smaller, so I would say the heat is more like, I don't know, dense.
No, it's nothing with the heat. It's nothing with the heat. It's just the temperature. No,
okay.
It's just a little bit off. That's all.
All right.
Small oven still. We use small confectionery oven sometime as well too. Yeah. You
do?
It's like I have a friend who has a smaller one that he bakes stuff out of his home in another city, and he purchased one because he put it online. So yeah, it's like
so it works.
It's not the size of a real oven.
People, it works. I didn't even have to cut the recipe because I do want to make that hummingbird cake that you made on the show, and you sent me the recipe. I really want to make that one. Can I make it in a small oven like that? Like a small version?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can cut. So the good thing about it is, about recipes, a lot of people don't know, is you can cut your recipe in half if you choose to. If you have quart containers or containers, you can bake off everything, saran wrap it really good.
Look, I'll show you. Hold on. This is my mini, because this fits in my oven. So I have everything mini.
It's gonna be over that amount if you do a regular batter. So when I speak, I just want to show I'm giving you the tips and the people who's listening, because their spaces are different. So the batter, the recipe, people don't know that you can cut it in half, or you can bake everything, So if you have the space, saran wrap it tightly and nice, and throw it in the freezer for at least 3 months and just pull out what you want. So like you said, you have guests coming over, you don't really feel like doing much, but you want to serve them something. You have this frozen cake in the freezer, put it out on the counter, let it get room temperature, add some coffee and tea to it. You have something for your guests to eat if they're coming in. You can also take the batter and put that in the freezer as well and let that defrost and bake your cake and scoop cupcakes out of that too.
I think they're brown enough now.
I think they're good enough too. Yeah, I don't want you to. Yeah, and just let them cool on the side, and then before we get out of here, we can definitely try them out so the people can know what they taste like.
Do they look
good?
They
good. Yeah.
I didn't.
Girl, you a biscuit queen now. You a biscuit.
I don't know.
I
ain't taste them yet. I ain't taste them yet. Let's just make sure that they taste as good as they look. But,
okay.
Yeah.
What made you start? I mean, I know you probably said this in your live before, but what made you start doing these talks with creatives?
So I'm in the creative industry. I'm a music journalist and an artist consultant and manager. So for me, seeing everybody crushed and frustrated about the whole industry being shut down, cultural industry, music industry, everything was closed, no shows, no events. I felt like we all are in the same boat. So let me try this talk where people of a certain status, and I don't want to say celebrities, but people that people look up to can also share that they're in the same boat. And how do they cope with it? What are the ways that they deal with it? What are they doing with their time? How do they stay motivated and inspired? I tried it out with my friend DJ Scheme Richards from Philly, and it became so needed. Not even, I don't want to say successful, it became needed. And I started doing all these talks, and then people hit me up like, can I be a guest? Can I be a guest? Please don't stop doing this. It was so great. It was such a good talk. And then people started asking me, I have a new album out. Can I be a guest? No, it's not about promoting people. It's literally about inspiring and motivating people. And if you have something that you're working on, obviously I'm going to discuss it. But it became such a success to me, as in that was the goal, in taking people out of their rut, off the couch, doing other things instead of only focusing on what they can't do, perfecting new skills, learning new skills, or tapping into their piece or a new routine or their their diet. So for me, that was great. And I just kept doing it. I did one every day in the beginning. It was too much. Then I started doing 4 a week, and then I did 3 a week, and now I do 2 a week. So, well, December taking off. You were the only one in the last one for this year. So
no,
I started in January.
I can see that's a lot that you give out to the people. So
yes, energy wise, I was so done, and I was just back from holiday when I hit you up. I had 2 weeks in the Caribbean, so I'm sort of fully charged because I'm still like drained from this lockdown in the winter. But I'm gonna start in January again. I have some great guests lined up, and I want to do more than just music people. It's gonna be, I had visual artists, I had actors, filmmakers, photographers, bakers. So everything is creative. Everybody's a creative, even if you're not.
Absolutely.
You're a creative.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, this is beautiful. Thank you so much for even thinking of something like this. This is actually a little bit about the Baking with Mr. Blake platform. It started with my curiosity with wanting to do more television, and also showing something different in that realm when it comes to food and baking, media and stuff like that. And I did the same thing. Each of my episodes has a guest there. And most of the guests don't know how to bake. So that's also the fun nuance with it too, because everyone's playing around with how you do this and how you do that. I do miss the chemistry of being in the kitchen with my guests, because it's just so much energy you feed off. It's a better, like, we do this, this is good, but it's, it's nothing like in the kitchen with each other, kind of feeding off of each other. And then it also gives you an avenue to promote your brand, yourself, which, anything that you have going on, and get it out there to the people, and stuff like that. So same thing. Super excited. I think people,
the audience of Mr. Bake, if you are any type of artist, feel free to hit me up. I can help you. I cannot help you in the kitchen. That's what he's for. But I can help you eat as well because I love to eat.
Okay.
I do want to ask you if we're able to fly around again. I would love to really do this in the kitchen with you and make something really spectacular, something that I would never do on my own. Because as much as I love the biscuits, I really wanted to learn something that I can impress people with. I mean, obviously the biscuits as well, but I really want to do something that I never thought I was going to do. So when we are able to see each other in person, I would love to do that.
Absolutely, I'm here for it. I mean, so I probably would say if we do that, a lot of baking takes some preparation, you know? So people want to do things that are impressive, which is great. It's just time consuming. So
Right.
like in terms of you might need to refrigerate it overnight, or
Yeah.
you might need to, like, you know, people want to make bread. You're like, well, you can't make bread on live. Like, we have to do bread in steps. Like, I have to have things already made.
Yeah.
Like, we have to pre-make stuff because you have to rise 2
Yeah.
times for an hour and a half each time. So that's
Right.
already 3 hours, your preparation time for stuff. So definitely I found it. I normally like to do simpler things on the live because people don't know how to bake. And
Right.
I am a level person. So before we go in and start making, eclairs came to my head, which is not hard, but like, you know, a French pastry, like an eclair or something delicate, you don't even know how to actually measure properly. So
I measured
biscuits,
okay.
no, not you. I mean, like in the most of the people that are on the show, they don't have any baking background, so their measurements is all wrong. Granted, I'm doing a lot of teaching in the show. It takes away from the actual camaraderie of talking because it's a talk show. It's a baking talk show, so we won't be able to do it live. We just got to do it as girlfriends in the kitchen. Yeah,
we can even do it
with some wine.
Yeah, we can just do it together offline. I just want to learn from you how to make stuff that I can eat at home when I don't have to order or find a bakery out here. Because obviously there's no Mr. Bake Sweets around my corner where I can put in orders. So you're going to have to open up shop out here. How about that? When you come back here, you're going to open up a shop. I'll run it.
Thank you. No, you need to keep doing what you're doing. You're amazing.
No, I mean, I'll oversee it. I'll oversee the bakeries. Because I need to be able to eat that.
Or I can just come, or you can let me know when we start opening back up. It's because we're going to get back to traveling soon. The world needs to keep going, right? When we get to that space and there's the events and stuff that are in that area, I can definitely start pitching it to them 2022 to talk about, you know, doing a feature, doing something like that, so that we can then hang out personally, but I can also continue to share my love and my passion for baking with everyone, because that's the goal. It's really not to keep the passion and the light that he's given me to myself, but it's to continue to spread it across the world and hope that it makes a difference in somebody's life.
It does. Oh my gosh, it made so much difference in my life just watching that show and then you replying to me. A couple more questions because since we're still on. We're still on. I'm just going to keep talking. I don't know how much time you have, but I want to ask you a few more questions. Where are your studios, your custom studios located?
So we are in the Maryland area of the Washington, D.C. area. So we are in Prince George's, Maryland, which is right close to Washington, D.C. We're probably 20 minutes away from downtown Washington, D.C. And then the locations that we service, we have 3 in Washington, D.C. We're working on a 4th one right now. We're going to get that contract together. And we have 1 location here in the Prince George's, Maryland, which is not too far from where we bake out of currently.
Okay, cool. So, and how many?
Yeah. And if you want...
Go ahead.
No, if anybody wants, they can just go on the website, www.mrbakesweets.com, and those addresses and names of those businesses are on the website where you can find our desserts.
Yes, please, people, order something out of my name, even, because I can't order
Okay,
sweets.
throw her name up in there. Okay.
I'm just saying, like, I just want to taste the sweets, and it sounds so terrible, but I really do. That's the first thing I wanted to do when I saw you on the show. He didn't even win. For those who didn't see it, oh, sorry, spoiler alert.
Oh,
He
right,
didn't even
spoiler,
win.
spoiler. Right.
But you know what? It was so great, and I wanted to taste all of that stuff. And then yeah, my second question was, or my other question was, so with a show like Sugar Rush, all the preparation you because it's like for us viewers, it's like on the fly, like, oh, let's make it this and this. I'm sure you've had to think of that before because you have to have all your ingredients and stuff, right?
Yeah, so what some shows do is they would a little bit beforehand, so you can kind of prep because baking is an exact science, and they want to make sure they do. So they give you some preliminary things like, you're gonna have to make a cake. You're gonna have to do this or that. So be prepared for that. Or I don't want to give too much of the TV magic away, but
Right.
that's what you get a little preparation beforehand. Now, for instance, if you watch like Chopped, or if you guys can watch that over there, but the Bobby Flay episode, I had to do a surprise ingredient. I didn't get that ingredient literally until the cameras are rolling, and they're like, your secret ingredient is boom.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, they're like, yeah. So you have to have techniques and recipes already in your memory or repertoire that you just know what to do. That's going to go well, hopefully. Yeah.
So, okay,
so that's
let me ask you
this. They'll do is they'll give you a few minutes to think before you go.
Right.
So like they'll go run. So you fake it off. You run to the pantries. That's why everybody runs straight to the pantries, right? One, because you know where everything is at. You do a walkthrough before you tape. Like you do a walkthrough 5 minutes before, right? You do this 30-minute walkthrough. Then you tape. Then they say, okay, your secret ingredient was, let's say it's strawberries. They go, so what are you going to do with strawberries? To make sure we have everything for you. The kitchen crew can tell you where things are at, just in case you forgot. What's your game plan? So you get about a few minutes. Then they go right back into it. And then that time is real. That time is not paused. There's no fake clock. It's a real clock. When it's over, it's no extra minutes. It's over.
I believe it. No cheating. So, I failed a lot in the kitchen. I once made a blue velvet cake in a rice cooker, which actually came out really good. Not looking good, but it was good enough for me my first time. So I want to ask you, in your whole career of baking, what has been your biggest failure in making something, and how did you turn that into a success?
Biggest failure. Well, I'm still in my career, so I don't want to say it's biggest failure, but what failure? I mean,
so far.
Shoot. Honestly, most recently somebody bought a pie for me, and they said some stuff wasn't all the way done, so that's a failure for me because I take a lot of passion into baking.
Yeah.
And when things aren't, either good or overcooked, undercooked, burnt, things like that, or you taste that, or you get that experience, I'm automatically like, damn, you know what I mean? So what I do naturally as a business owner, you want to keep the customer to come back.
Right.
You offer some type of incentive or discount, or it's a function where I can replace the option right then and there. Like, okay, I can come and replace it right now. That's really mostly what it's been like. I've had like my younger, when I first started out doing cakes for people when I was back in New York. I'm originally from New York, by the way. Mm-hmm. And my mama's small kitchen, like literally the New York City apartments is tiny. So the kitchen is just as small as yours. And I had a cake fail. And I was so disappointed and just in myself. And unfortunately, at the time, my mother didn't understand what it was to be a business owner or to go into culinary arts. So she wasn't the best support system for that. But I still made it through, You just got to have a tough skin. What I've learned over my career so far is that you're not going to make everybody happy. Unfortunately. And if your goal is to try to make everyone happy, you're going to be doomed before you even get any further. Because you're going to have to hold that open. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you got to continue to do the best that you can and understand you're human, that you're going to drop the ball. You're going to have an off day. And it happens. You just process it and you bounce back from there. Don't be, that's just usually how I take things, Damn,
Yeah.
I apologize, especially if I can identify what this is my fault. I
Yeah.
apologize or apologize that this happened to you. I apologize that I, disrupted your function by any way, because that's not my goal. I know what desserts mean to a function. That's why I got into this
Right.
business, is because I
Right.
want you to be the desserts are the last thing you eat. So I want that to be
Yeah.
memorable. Your birthday cake needs to look and taste good. I want
Yeah.
that to be memorable. So because I did that, I'm definitely very apologetic. And then we're trying to reconcile the situation. Hopefully they'll come back and be a client again. And if not, I hope that I soothe them over, that they don't talk too much crap about the
Right.
product. Because you can't stop people from
Well,
sharing their experience.
I was gonna say I'm gonna order something from you when I can, and then say that it was bad so I can get a free other one. I'm so bad. No, I'm not doing that. Obviously, your stuff will be great.
Right, and this thing. So one, I want to see a photo. So in my terms and agreement, if you wanting yeah. Oh no, we're not doing that, because then we're going your word against my word. Like, you know what I mean?
Or
And
your taste. It could be a matter of taste as well. Like, just because I don't think it tastes good doesn't mean it tastes bad. Yeah.
Right, and then so I'd be like, and I know product. Like, I'd be like, you know what? I didn't get to taste that, but it did look a little off. But I didn't really look at it. If my worker was doing it, I didn't really look at it hard enough. But it did look a little off. But I was like, nah, we good. Just kind of flowing in the day. So sometimes things like that happen, So you look at stuff. That's why I say send me a picture of it, because if you send me a photo, then I
It's
can
already
identify
finished
with the mistake.
I ate it. I can't take a picture. It's finished. And then you could be like,
so then you'd be like, so then did you not like it, or did you like it? Because you ate the whole thing.
well, I thought I don't want to waste food, and my mama taught me not to throw away food. That's actually one of the things that I hate about me baking and it failing, because I made a couple of I tried to make a couple of Indonesian cakes, and they failed. I tried it 3 times, and there goes so many eggs and stuff in it that I feel like, oh my god, I wasted so much food on these cakes that failed. So I gave up on it. But I just buy them now. But I do want to teach you at some point to make an Indonesian steam cake. I'm going to send you the recipe for that, so you can look at it.
Please.
Yeah, because I love to show
you
new things that you haven't done yet.
Yes, and which is good, because if I do another competition, they're always looking for that out of the box thinking stuff. You know what I mean? And because I'm so, and I'm also such a I don't want to say purist, but I like to stay true to what I do, especially in those competitions. Like, people go, when they go in and say, oh, I'm gonna do this extra, I'm gonna do this extra. I'm like, if you didn't try that beforehand and have like 6 people eat it that you trust, that have a developed palate, I'm not going on that show playing okie doke, unless it's a surprise ingredient competition. But if you know that you have to make a cake, like Sugar Rush, you have to make a cake, you got to make it, just like, this, because the show already been out. There's a blueprint already for it. So what, so you just make the best that you can. And one of the things, I'm a flavor person, I'm a baker. So on these shows, the judges, they go, oh, it may not have been better than that last person or innovative as that last person. But one thing I love is, as long as you tell me that it tastes good and you will recommend it to your friends or your girlfriends, I don't care about anything else. Because that's true to me. Like, making sure that you have a good experience.
That's what it's about, because I always say, so one of my best friends, she's a chef, and I'm the wrong person. I have a lot of friends that cook and bake. I'm just not one of them. I'm the eater. But I also tell them I'm the wrong person
You eat good.
Yeah. I'm the wrong person to test out on, because I think everything tastes good. Funny anecdote. I once worked as a marketeer at a baking. It wasn't a baking company, but it was a company that made the baking ingredients, like the flour and stuff. Yeah, so they would bake all day, every day. They had like a test bakery downstairs, and every night they would throw away everything. So here comes Pay, newbie in the company. Wait, you're throwing it away? bringing all the bags home on the train, giving it to my neighbors and my mom, because it would be failed breads and cakes for the market, but it would still taste good. I'm like, you're gonna throw this away? I brought home everything. I taste everything, and I think everything is fine. So I'm the wrong person to ask if it was really good. I have no palate. I just have lust.
Okay. One of my friends, my old roommate, used to do the same thing when I used to have tasting Wednesdays. He would be like, "Y'all like this stuff for real? Like, don't be over here lying. I'll be out telling Kareem the truth." And they'd be like, I'm looking at him like, "Nah, they wouldn't lie to me," because he was new to my life. And I was like, "No, I don't think these are my real friends. I don't think they will lie to me, and they know that I want their honest opinion because I'm putting it on the market."
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, and it also goes through my palate. You know, so like, even if you tell me it's good, I still have to make sure that it's
your standards. Yeah. And you know what? If I don't like something, that says something, because I pretty much eat everything. If I don't like something, that's when you really should take my opinion seriously, because if I don't eat it, you don't want to feed it to the dog. Like, yeah, it's yeah, and this, I guess that's the good thing about having me as a test person. Let's just see if she dislikes it or not. And any other opinion that she has doesn't matter. But yeah,
run it through Pay real quick. Run it through Pay.
Right.
Run it through Pay real quick. She'll let us know.
Exactly. You know, do you need to get rid of something that people don't eat? Give it to Pay. She'll eat it. I'm the garbage can.
Okay, somebody here got a little joke for you. They called you. They are funny. I hope that's your girlfriend.
No, so my nickname is Piggy Pay. My auntie also calls me Piggy Pay.
That's
and so my aunt in Florida, the mom of my cousins who are tuned in, she also calls me Piggy Pay, because food is a big thing in our family. You know, we're Indonesian, and there's always food. Every party has food. There's always too much food. You don't cook for one day, you cook for like a million days. So I eat a lot. I haven't eaten a lot this year because of the pandemic, but yeah, so I'm known to eat, and I used to be like super skinny, and I wanted to gain weight because I got teased, so I started eating. That's how I got the nickname Piggy Pay. I just love to eat.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Okay. I was making sure, because I was like, whoever said that comment.
That's my friend. That's my friend. Yeah.
I was like, I hope that's your girlfriend. I literally said that. I was like,
no, my friends know.
I said, this is a cute live. Why are they calling us names?
Yeah, no, seriously. If it was somebody I ain't know, then yeah, definitely. You know, okay. That's also my friend.
Yep. About to say,
yep. Only my friends. But yeah, we can talk 5 years. And can we taste the biscuits though?
Absolutely. Let's go ahead.
How does it have to taste? It's not as big as I thought it would be, but do I cut it, or do I just eat it like this?
Yep, you can just eat it like that. And they're not as big because it depends on how we roll them. So if you roll them thicker, you'll get bigger biscuits.
It's really good.
Yeah, they're good. I overworked mine. So yours feel a little chewy?
Hmm?
Is yours a little chewy?
No.
Oh,
Izzy, you missed it. Izzy, you gotta watch back when this is on, because I was cooking, I was baking in here. You missed it. She's like, oh my God, just
okay. I overmix mine, but I'm gonna cut my light down so I can show you guys something. So if you see inside, can you see that flakiness and layers? That's what the butter did. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important to have those pea-sized butters, because they create that layer of flakes that's in there in those pockets. Yep, that's what that is. That's why it's important.
The pockets, yeah. That's why it's so, like you said, the little pockets of fat, the grease. Oh, it's good. I'm not really a biscuit fan, but this is really good. I got
and the good thing about it, it's a quick, easy biscuit. You can take out the salt or take out some of the salt. Excuse me, I got biscuit mouth. And then add it and make it a shortbread. So you can do fresh strawberries, fresh whipped cream, and now you have, thank you, Jill, and now you have like a strawberry shortcake. You can do it with all seasonal fruits, blueberries, mix a little.
What do I do then? I just put it in the dough.
Put the dough. I would take some of the salt out. Put a little sugar in there so you can make it sweeter because you're making something sweet.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little sugar, maybe like a teaspoon, goes a long way. And then make you some fresh strawberries. Put a little lemon juice and sugar. Mix that all together, or maybe some blueberries, raspberries, whatever you want.
Oh, that's good.
And then, yeah, and you just make a shortcake. Now you have the biscuits for a shortcake.
I'm gonna try that.
Shortcake biscuits. Yeah, you can do shortcake. You can do gravy. You can do regular biscuits and just do some honey with it, and butter with some tea or some coffee in the morning. That's the good thing. You can also create those biscuits, line them up. If you have the space, guys, in plastic wrap or something in a bag, take a biscuit or two out, throw it on a pot, put it in the oven at 500 degrees or your highest temperature.
250 for us, 230. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you just bake them for 10 minutes and let rise up, golden brown, boom, eat them and go.
Okay, so
throw some ham.
My girl Kim, she says, you make me want some. Kim, I got 5 more. She lived down the street. So you want to come get some?
Oh, Kim.
Yep. And Izzy asks if you can work with sugar alternatives for the shortcake.
Yes. Wait, what for the biscuits or just in general?
For the biscuits, I think she says, can we work with sugar alternatives like palm sugar? That's sugar too.
Yeah, you should be able to do the same thing. You only want to use a little bit of sugar in there just to add a little sweetener because you're making a sweet dish. You can actually omit the sugar from it and salt from it. Yeah, you can omit the sugar and the salt from it if you don't want either or. And you can then control whatever you put in there. So if you have butter or, that can be your extra flavoring to it. Honey and jams and fresh fruits and cream and dip it. Caramel spreads and chocolate spreads go well. So you have multiple different uses for these quick, easy things, which most people already have flour. And you may not have buttermilk. So the thing about the buttermilk too for you, Pay, you can take regular whole milk. You can take regular. Look at hello.
I got 5 left, Kim.
I want to come and get some of your biscuits.
My doorbell's going to ring in a minute.
Okay. Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I truly do. I hope you truly did enjoy it. And like I said, the recipe. Good, and you can play with the recipe as you get more into baking or more into playing with your food. You'll start getting better at it. But yeah, these are good. I think I just overmixed mine, but
that's because you were showing me, and you were paying attention to me, so you were just doing too much. You're a man. You can't do 2 things at the same time. Funny. So Kim asks, can you use dates or date syrup as well?
I've never tried date syrup at all, but yes, you can chop up some dates and throw them in the biscuit as well. Some dry fruit will be a little bit better than wet fruit because wet fruit is then going to change the consistency of the actual biscuit. So just be a little careful with that. I haven't played with the biscuit with wet fruit to know the difference. What your measurements will be. You might add a little bit more flour to it, right? But you don't want it to be too cakey, so you just got to play around with that. But definitely dry fruit.
I was feeling the dough. That's why I was like, does it have to be this sticky? But I now know what it's supposed to be like, thanks to this whole ordeal. And so now I know for the next time what to pay attention to, because honestly, as much as you were really measuring with the knife and everything, I kind of wing it, and I know I shouldn't. But for these things, I think it doesn't really matter that much. I'm not making a specific cake. And as long as it tastes good.
Very true. And listen here, you're not a baker by profession, right? So for me, I'm a measuring guy.
Details.
Even if I'm making the simplest things, I'm like, I'm going to measure it. Not everything, right? Because some stuff I can eye. Like my spices and stuff I put in things, I eyeball that. But if I'm making stuff, I genuinely always use my measuring cups and tools. And there's some stuff I know. Like I know, this looks right around about a cup. This looks right around about half a cup type situation.
Well, that's why I do have the measuring cups, because, I needed them, and especially with the conversion from American measures and, European ones. I really had to, that's something that I will be specific about, because it'll fail if you don't do the right conversion, and also with the oven, obviously. I'm just going through like all of
Yes.
the funny comments. So somebody recorded this for me. I'm gonna ask him to send it so I can read the comments back. One more person asked before we go, is it the same as scones?
Similar, yes.
Similar.
Yes, that's exactly. These biscuits are doing any biscuits, or we call them quick breads in the pastry world. So these are quick breads, you know. They have that kind of bready feeling, but they're quick. So biscuits and scones are cousins. They're cousins. So you'll do the similar, you know, not so much of a kneading action, very light on handling it once you get everything together. You still want that flakiness in there. You still want a nice golden brown wash on top. You still can use a lot of dry fruits. You can add cinnamon. Like scones are crazy because you can do cinnamon, the chips, all different types of things. But the great thing is you can do the same thing with a biscuit.
I'm happy that I learned the basics of this recipe, so I can try and do something myself. What's that? What'd you say?
I don't know. It
Are we
froze.
breaking
Can
up?
you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I can.
It froze.
So
Say
no,
that
I was
last
gonna
part
say
again.
I can now add my own little flavors to it to see how it comes out with this basic recipe. I'm very happy that you taught me this, even though I wanted to do something very fancy, but this was fancy enough for me. One last thing, because we did an hour and a half. Thank you, Instagram, for letting us be great.
Okay, thank you.
What is one thing that you want to give out to people as far as, you know, dealing with lockdowns and pandemics and second waves and third waves? What is one advice that you want to give out to people?
I would say, well, shoot, we're going into a new year, so happy new year to everyone, first and foremost, right? Have a blessed new year. I would say if you haven't done any self-work during these times, if you haven't done anything, self-work for self-care, anything, if it's starting that plant life that you want, if it's a green thumb, reading these books, painting, any of those things, you haven't got to it yet, you were nervous before, you just was maybe anxious or just anxiety, all of those things, I would say start doing that now. Do that while you have the time. It's very relaxing. Start a project that you always put down to the side or that you always thought about doing. Just love yourself because it's so heavy. There's so much going on. There's so much uncertainty. The only thing you can do is continue to try to stay grounded in yourself. And you can also knock out that negative noise. The media is a lot of noise of uncertainties. Yeah. And, you know, we just love yourself. Find a way to truly, truly love yourself or pour back into yourself. You will be a stronger person coming out of this.
And me adding to that is, if you do all of what he just said or suggested, then you will be a light to others. Because that is something that I really wanted to tell you, Kareem, Mr. Bake. You really were a light in that little dark corner of my couch where I was sitting and being all sad about being back home and with all of what's going on. That show was a light to me, but then you in that show were a light. And I really want to let people know that you don't know what the influence is that you have on others. You don't know what your inspiration to others can be by just being you, by just being genuinely yourself. And that is something that I feel like we have to tap into, because we are now more on social media and we see everybody doing things and you feel like you have to match up to everybody's life. Just be you. I can't be anybody else. So this is me being a little light in the darkness with my what now, having great guests that are spreading more lights. And I really hope that you want to be a guest with me in 2021 again sometime, just to check in, do something else in the kitchen, because I like doing stuff and learning while we're talking. I thought that was a very great idea of you to do this.
Good. Well, I'm glad. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you so much for finding the courage to just reach out and just pour you know, a little of your life into my life about how I made you feel on the show. You know, that is one of the things I started to really go into a lot of competitions, because I did 3 this year, and I literally, it's stress. Every time you do a competition, it's a whole month of stress, right?
Right.
And unbearable. Like, why would you keep putting yourself through that? But right, like why would you do that? But one of the reasons is to be exactly what you said. So, like, you know, hearing your message and then looking at your page, I was instantly gravitated towards you, and it was like, oh my gosh, she does live. We should do a live together. This would be so much fun. Like, just have fun on camera
Right.
during this crazy time. And I liked your energies when I, you know, skimmed through some of your lives. But like I was saying, the reason why, you know, I did all of this was to be that what you said. You know, be that light. You can be yourself. Everybody else is already taken.
Right.
You know who we're missing in the world is more of you. We're missing more of the individual
No, I'm unique
in this world being their individual self.
Yourselves, yeah.
Yeah. So, thank you so
agree.
much.
Thank you. I'm so happy I found a new friend through Netflix. I have to say 2020 got me 2 new friends by watching Netflix, people. I watched, and it's, let me tell you this too. I watched another food-related show. It was a film called Cook Off Zim from Zimbabwe.
Okay.
It was an African movie. And I thought the leading roles, the actors were so great. I looked them up, and one of the leading actors turned out to be a rapper. So me being in the music business, I listened to his music. I was an instant fan. Found him on Instagram, hit him up, and we are now best friends. So Netflix, thank you.
Yes.
And the last message.
Please make sure, okay. Make sure you think yourself, because it takes a lot of courage to just reach out. You see something you want. You saw somebody you wanted to connect with, or you were just interested or intrigued by, and you did research on them, and you reached out and said, well, shoot, I'm just going to say hi. I'm just going to see what they say. You know what I mean? And that's a lesson people need to learn too. Like, don't box yourself in. You are more powerful than you believe. Put that energy out there, and look where we at now. We are literally doing a live talking about meeting each other face to face when the world opens up, and doing another live next year. So the opportunities are endless. You have to open the door, or at least step to the door to see if you can, what comes out of it.
You just met me, and I do have to say that this is my life. I'm a music journalist. I've interviewed people from Ice Cube to Rakim to EPMD. I became friends with them simply because I reached out. So the courage was never a problem for me, because they cannot reply, and what have I lost? 2 seconds of my life. Oh well. So I have reached all these people that I'm now friends with, that I'm doing lives with, that I had done interviews with, because I just reach out, try and see if I can reach them. And that is something that doesn't cost you anything. We have a saying in the Netherlands, you have no, you can get a yes. If you don't try, you always have the no, but you can get a yes.
I used to say the same thing, and I know we got to go, to my mother before she passed. Like, my mother was so stressed. Yeah. She said the same thing.
Yeah. So anyway, as I said, we can talk for 5 more years. Thank you for my delicious biscuits.
On my end.
I'll be making this
frozen.
Huh? I see you. Hello?
I don't know if the time is up, but I'm looking at my phone, and we look good. But then when I'm looking at this phone, it's breaking up. This is so weird.
Why you got 2 phones?
It's so weird.
Fancy.
One for the line. It's an old song. One for the hoes and one for no. One is my business line, and the other one, this is my regular personal phone, and I'm doing the live from my business line.
Well, I only got 1 phone for business and personal. I'm not fancy like you. I got a small kitchen. I got 1 phone. You know, that's just regular phone for you.
Let me tell you. Well, I appreciate the fanciness, but it was an opportunity, and I took it.
You know what? I would do the same thing. Yeah. Let's wrap this up. I'm going to clean this kitchen. Thank you so much, Kareem. I freaking love you. I hope we can do this more often. We'll definitely be in touch. And I'll let you know how my biscuits with my own little swirl to it will work out.
All right, bet. And always tap on my door for any recipes.
Yes,
You know, we can always
I will.
talk through on personal lines. So thank you again for the opportunity, everybody. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure being in your kitchen remotely. And please don't hesitate, anybody, if you're in the States or outside the States, follow me, DM me. You know, I'm easy to talk to. If you're looking for any assistance in baking, anything like how to get on TV shows, holla at me. I'm here.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. He is easy to talk to. He replied to me, so, you know, I'm sure he'll reply to you. Thanks, everyone. I hope you also learned how to make biscuits if you didn't know. If you did, please send me a photo if you did something that I did and, you know, are proud of it. Would love to see everybody that learned from this. Thanks, everyone, and have a great new year. I'll be back in January with great new guests, so stay tuned and follow Mr. Baked Sweets as well. Thank you.
All right.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Peace, everybody.
Bye.